Hey, what's up everybody out there in learning land? This is Todd from 10thumbspro.com, teaming up with Jellynote.com to keep your learning experience going on these Saturdays. And today we're talking about the mute. Alright, so we're going to be adding a little percussion to our strum. This is a valuable tool, one that I use a lot in my playing. It makes it sound a little more full, and it makes you sound a little more like a band when you're playing alone. It works great as a snare drum, and it works great over reggae. So don't worry, be happy. We're going to teach you. Don't worry, be happy. We're going to do it in a reggae context. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, and you're going to nail it in no time. Plus, this mute, you're going to be able to take from this lesson and apply it to a bunch of other lessons. So this is like an extra important one, all right? So what do you need to make this happen? All you need is that ukulele brain attention span. You have those three things. Follow me on in, and let's break this lesson down right now. All right, so a great place to start is the chords. We need a C, a D minor, and an F. Now, when you're learning a concept like the mute, I think it's better to start off with some basic chords and basic progressions. You can always make the progressions and the chords harder. You just add a song that you know. But it's good to learn new right hand techniques, or left hand for my lefties. I see you guys, with the basic chord progression. So we're going to go 4 beats over the C, 4 beats over the D minor, 4 beats over the F, 4 beats over the C. And we're going to do this strum pattern just so you can get a feel for it like we did earlier. It's like a down, up, 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 down. To get that shuffle, like 1 and 2 will be 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Believe it or not, if you already have that kind of reggae swing strum pattern, that's the entire tune, okay? But we can take it a step further and add that mute that I was talking about in the intro. And that's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now this particular mute lends itself to reggae quite nicely, but it's not limited to reggae. You could do any style, country, funk, pop music. But we're looking at it today as a vehicle of reggae because it's a great place to get introduced with this style. Okay, so the idea is to go down, up, mute. And that would be like 1 and. Your mute is your and. 1 and. I'm catching an up on the way up, so I'm going down, up, mute. So you'd really count it like 1 E and. Alright, but I wouldn't worry about so much about that. Let's just try to get this mute down. So you don't want these strings to make their chord sound. Strum, mute. So how do you get that progressive sound? Okay, there's a couple ways to do it, but one thing that's fundamental is you're going to want to finish with your string, your palm, on these strings. Alright? If I take like just my right hand and I do this, you can see how I'm still, you'd think it would sound like this. But I'm able, even without my left hand, to mute all these strings. And that's by putting that palm on there, and I'm just kind of flicking through with my fingers, like I'm drying my hands. I prefer to keep my thumb above the strings too. Alright, but your flesh is all over these strings. That's why none of this is making any sound. And that's what we're going for, but it's the same idea, but by striking it like this, it gives it a percussive sound. Alright? So you're going to go down, up, mute. Down, up, palm on those strings, follow through for that mute. Really slow. Down, up, mute. Alright? It really helps to, you see how I finish with my hands on the strings? If you mute and go past it, you're not really going to be able to get that mute as easy. So it really helps if your hand just lands on those strings, because then they can't make any noise. And we're going to go down, up, mute. See how my hand's on the strings? Down, up, mute. Okay, now we're going to count those mutes for the ands, and let's try to do that 4 times. Let's do it 8 times. Let's do it 2 measures on the C. 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and don't go past that until you can get that. Feel good on that C. Once you get that, let's go ahead and put it to the C, D minor, F, C. let's play through this progression twice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 again. Alright, so get it over that progression, and the good news is once you get over that progression, don't worry, be happy. You got the whole tune, alright? Great place to get this mute down. Take it slow, just over that C, and remember, you want your hand to finish on those strings. The mute's going to come from your hands being on these strings because the strings aren't going to be able to vibrate, so that's going to be the goal, to practice that sound. Alright? Fingers flicking out, like you're drying your hands, alright? Comes from the wrist. And you'll get it. And once you get that, put it to this whole song, enjoy the tune, and then add it to some other tunes that you like. It works really well over the 2 and the 4 beat. Because that way it sounds like a mute. Okay. Alright, Jellynote teaming up with 10thumbspro.com again. I hope you dig it, and until next time, alright? Just keep on watching, keep on learning, keep on loving life, and we're going to see you next Saturday. Everybody, thumbs up if it helped you. Get your mute on. Get your mute on. Alright, y'all. Now you got it. And this is a valuable lesson of how you can take something that is ordinary and make it extraordinary with just a little action from that right hand, okay? A lot of times when we're learning ukulele, we forget how important our right hand is. And obviously, lefties, I see you out there. It's your left hand if you're the other way around. I better stick to what I know, alright? So, don't forget your right hand and add some dynamics to it. And a great place to start with your dynamics is these strums and these muted strums, okay? Alright, 10thumbspro.com, jellynote.com. See you next Saturday. What are we going to do next? Maybe we'll be putting these mutes to a more complicated chord progression. Who knows? Only one way to find out, alright? See you next Saturday, everybody.